Hello everyone. So we are almost a month in the new year, and I finally put together a list of books that I want to read and start reading immediately. So today I'm going to talk about those books. The first on the list is Revival by Stephen King. Now, Stephen King does get a lot of criticism in terms of how grotesque and gory and violent his books are, but I also think that he is one of the greatest storytellers that we have. The kind of psychological exploration his books have is really amazing, and the premise of this book was really interesting. So this is the book that I've already picked up. I'm two chapters through and I'm quite enjoying it. All the Light We Cannot See, again one chapter in, and I have to say it is one of the most beautiful and most aesthetically written books that I have read so far. It's really amazing. 1Q84 is a book which has been on my list for a very long time, but the sheer size of it has kept me from finishing it. So I'm gonna pick it up once again, and this time I'm sure I'm gonna finish it through and through. So Ian McEwan just released this book called The Cockroach, which is essentially a retelling of Kafka's Metamorphosis. So again, I want to read this first, and then I'm gonna read this. So I just want to understand that how this retelling has been done. We Have Always Lived in the Castle. Now, Shirley Jackson, as most of you would know, is an American author who is famous for her horror writing, and we've seen The Haunting of the Hill House, I think, a year back or two, and I was blown away by it, and I read the book as well. So I'm just picking up her other books, and this is the next that I'm going to read. Flight. Now, this is the next book that I'm picking up because the premise again is really interesting, and if you have a thing for magical realism, I think this is one book that would surely interest you. The author of this book went ahead to win the Man Booker International Prize, and this is again a very promising book which I'm really looking forward to. Labyrinth by George Louis Borges. Now, he happens to be one of my most favorite authors. I have read some of his stories, and he's got a magnificent way of writing. He tells a story which is again magical realism, and he tells it in a way that it reads like history. So this is one book which is very well acclaimed, and I really can't wait to. Maybe this is the next book that I'll pick up straight away. It's a collection of short stories by H.P. Lovecraft. Now, H.P. Lovecraft was one of his kind, and he went ahead to create a whole genre of horror fiction which is known as Lovecraftian horror. So this is again a collection of his works, and I've read some of his works before, but some of the stories in this book I've not read. So again, another book which is on my list. Amitav Ghosh's Gun Island. Now, I bought this book as soon as it was released, and I was fortunate to attend a launch for this book in Delhi as well. It was a wonderful session, and again, interesting premise, and there on my list. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. Now, this is again a book which rose to very high acclaim, and a lot of people had to say wonderful stuff about this book, including Neil Gaiman. So I'm looking forward to this book as well. It's again a volume, and I think for this one what I'm going to do is I'm going to run an audiobook in the background as I read it, because I think that will help me speed up my reading process, because otherwise it's going to take forever. The last book in the list is The Angel's Game. Now, this is a sequel to that ever popular book called Shadow of the Wind, and if you've been following me anywhere, you would know that Shadow of the Wind is one of my all-time favorite books, and I think it's one of the best books that I've been fortunate enough to read, and this is the next book in the volume. I've had it for a very long time. I picked up a copy when I visited Nepal so many years ago, and I think I've been saving this book because I like the author's work so much that I don't want it to get over. But I think I'm finally ready to read the second book in the series, because there are already 3 more, and this is the one I'm going to pick up next. So this was my list of books that I'm going to be reading next. I do not know how long I'm going to take to read all these, but what I'm thinking is that as I keep reading these books, I'll keep sharing my thoughts about these books with you guys as well. I hope you'll enjoy that. Thank you.